Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an Eastern Kentucky family continues to search for answers 7 months after their daughter was murdered. And a firefighter is in recovery as they deal with wounds from a fire in London.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:30 on Thursday, May 30th. Now let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. Hey, we're starting the day off with some fog, but hey, that's the way the pattern has dictated over the last couple of weeks. 48 outside our door, running a little bit below where we should be regarding an overnight low. Should be, yes, a little bit closer to 50 as we will end up eventually dropping back to 45. Average high is 78, and we've been running lower 70s. We'll get back closer to that tomorrow and be above it as we head through this weekend. That's when we start to bring back the rain chances, and we'll kind of put the kibosh on the kind of cut and paste, rinse and repeat forecast with fog in the morning, locally dense in a number of locations. Temperature-wise, upper 40s, lower 50s is promised from yesterday, and nothing to really speak of regarding cloud cover right now. So once we burn off the fog, it's a sunny to partly cloudy day and a high up close to 73. More about the First Alert 70 forecast in this half hour. Olivia.
Thank you, Tim. This Memorial Day, one Pike County mother spent time cleaning up the grave of her daughter, still unsure how she ended up there. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about a murder that took place in the Phelps community that has one family praying for answers.
It's been one big nightmare. Her birthday's already passed without her. Christmas already passed without her. Mother's Day passed without her. No, each day there's a holiday, and the Lord blesses me to be alive. You know, it will be without her.
Melissa Wolford was found dead in her Phelps community November 1st, 2023.
She should be here. You know, it would have been hard enough if she just passed away, but knowing there's somebody out there walking around that took her life.
The 42-year-old daughter, wife, and dog mom spent her life giving to others.
This is her and her little dog.
So finding out someone had taken that life has weighed on her family for almost 7 months.
I know God's going to bring it to justice, but you know, we're waiting. We're waiting.
Her mother, Anita Wolford, says the not knowing is one of the hardest things she has had to endure. As Kentucky State Police continues to investigate and the family begs someone to come forward with information.
And right now, what we're doing is, with God's help, we're making it one day at a time, 1 second at a time. And when these people are brought to justice, the ones that murdered my daughter, it's going to be a happy, happy day.
Saying there is only one thing she knows for sure.
She's in heaven, and the Lord's, and when I get there, I just want to hug her, and I just want to hold her. But you know, she's safe now. Won't nobody ever hurt my daughter again.
As she prays for justice.
It's just a waiting game.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The family is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads directly to the conviction of the person or people responsible for Wolford's murder. If you have any information, you are asked to contact Kentucky State Police Post 9 at 606-433-7711. A Pulaski County murder case is moving forward. Brandon Mullins is charged with 2 counts of murder. Police say he shot and killed his father and uncle. Deputies were on Sandage Spur in Eubank Saturday evening. Sheriff Bobby Jones found Dennis Mullins and his brother Anthony Mullins dead. Yesterday in court, a not guilty plea was entered for Brandon Mullins. He's being held on a $1 million bond. A preliminary hearing is set for June 5th. A Knox County man is facing multiple charges after police say he reportedly assaulted someone with a gunshot shock. Police were notified of the situation a little after 7:30 p.m. on Monday night at a home in the Salt Gum community. The victim was taken to UT Hospital after suffering head wounds. Police found Jerry Mills inside the home after he had barricaded himself. After failed attempts to remove him from the house by using tear gas, police physically subdued Mills just before 2 a.m. On Wednesday morning, Kentucky State Police began investigating a sexual complaint in Middlesboro. Officials say after interviewing individuals, their investigation led them to Greg Callen, a 50-year-old from Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. KSP officials issued a warrant for his arrest, and it was made by Claiborne County Sheriff's Department in Tennessee. Callen is charged with third-degree rape, third-degree sodomy, first-degree sexual abuse, and proc use of a minor or electronic means. Callen was placed in Claiborne County Detention Center while he awaits extradition to Bell County. In Magoffin County, there was a crash involving a school bus and a pickup truck. Officials with the sheriff's office say it happened sometime between 8 and 8:15 on Wednesday morning on Kentucky 7 in the Royalton community. They say the truck was entering a curve when it crossed the center line and struck the bus nearly head on. The only ones on the bus, the driver and one student, were not hurt in the crash. The 3 people in the truck were taken to either a hospital or other medical facility. Police in Perry County are asking for help finding a motorcycle that was reportedly stolen. Here is a picture of the bike, which is a 2002 Honda CBR 900. Officials with the sheriff's office say that it was stolen from a property on Justin Avenue near the airport. Anyone with information about the case is asked to contact the sheriff's office at 606-439-4523. And we're continuing to follow a Southern Kentucky firefighter's road to recovery after being hurt in a fire Sunday. Brandon Buckner was one of 5 firefighters hurt when an eye surgeon's office was struck by lightning during an outbreak of severe weather. Buckner's family says he suffered broken ribs, collapsed lungs, and a lacerated liver. He was released from a London hospital Tuesday, but was quickly readmitted and then flown to Lexington.
He had some issues and some pain, and he went back to St. Joseph, London, where they was trying to find out what was going on with his pain, so possibly some nerve issues.
The other 4 firefighters are now at home recovering. Buckner's family tells us the support they've received has been overwhelming. Schools in Kentucky are letting students out for summer break, but it also marks the start of the 100 deadliest days on the road, a time where there is a spike in crashes. Speeding and drinking have been the biggest factors in teen crashes. The regional executive director of MAD says parents should have conversations with their children about drinking and driving.
It's not a problem that's going to go away by us just not talking about it. So it's important for parents to understand that they do have an influence in this area and to be having these conversations with their kids on a consistent basis.
Oates says many young people have a sort of invincibility complex, meaning they know crashes happen as a result of drunk driving, but they do not think it will ever happen to them. Overdose deaths are declining across Kentucky. A major contributor is the availability of naloxone. This weekend at Red Mile's Railbird Festival in Lexington, an overdose prevention group is setting up to help educate people on the life-saving measure. Mariah Congito talked to organizers of This Must Be the Place.
There's a lot of cutting, lacing, and counterfeiting going on with fentanyl right now. It's really despicable. It's really dangerous.
This Must Be the Place will visit 39 festivals this year from coast to coast.
Music and drugs will always be intertwined.
Their next stop is Red Mile for the 2024 Railbird Festival. Folks with This Must Be the Place say this will be their second time attending. Last year, they saw just how many people were eager to have naloxone kits on hand should a situation ever arise.
Fingers crossed it never happens at a festival. And then this stuff makes it back into that community. But we've now fostered that willingness to help someone, even a complete stranger.
William Perry, director of This Must Be the Place, says they passed out 1,200 free Cloxato kits at Railbird last year. Cloxato is a brand of naloxone. Perry says many people don't have access to it.
We educate them on Clixado. We tell them, exactly how to respond, how to check for the signs and symptoms. What they walk away with is a really cool packet.
Perry had his own bout with opioid addiction. Now sober, he says he wants to share the lessons he's learned and be the reason someone has a chance to also get their life back on track.
We have to be willing to help them, and that's how we get through this crisis, is by keeping people alive. Dead people just don't have the opportunity to recover.
Perry says they've given out $3 million worth of naloxone since their mission started 3 years ago.
When we hand them this medicine, what we always see is that look of empowerment.
Mariah Conjito, WKYT.
This Must Be the Place will be at the festival both Saturday and Sunday. If you would like to read more about their mission, you can find this story on WYMT.com. One Southwest Virginia county is receiving $1.7 million in opioid abatement funds for a treatment facility. The money will be used for the Wildwood Health and Wellness Center in Dickinson County, Virginia. Officials say they have plans to secure an additional $1.7 million in the 2026 fiscal year. The Wildwood Health and Wellness Center will be phase 2 of the Wildwood Recovery Center project. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but what do those services cost? A study says spending on mental health services spiked 53% from 2020 to 2022. Researchers are unsure if the trend will continue. Some healthcare providers are not taking certain insurance because of a lag in reimbursement from the insurance companies. Dr. Sine Adams, a mental health provider with Wellness Within, says she's owed thousands of dollars for her services.
When you look at some of the reasons why mental health services are underutilized, access and cost are two of those reasons.
Our sister station talked to one woman who has struggled with having to cover counseling services for her and her daughter. At one point, LaTracy Bradley says it cost her $500 per month for both her and her daughter. That led to Bradley sending her daughter to a therapist instead of herself. And still to come, Nicki Minaj is staying on the road after announcing new tour dates.
It's been a pleasantly cool weather pattern as we've gone through the last couple of days, waking up to some fog issues again this morning. Rinse, repeat, right? Yeah, I know, but enjoy this because we do increase the threat of precipitation. We'll let you know when. Your first Alert 7-day forecast is coming up right after this.